Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Crone Zone. I'm Lynn, and this is the video for the full moon in Leo, which is happening on the 12th of February, just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're in the UK, obviously you'll have to adjust for your time zones. And it's occurring at 24 degrees of Leo. So, what do we know about full moons in general? Well, they're culminations, they're harvest points, they're the point of maximum extension of something. They're also a time of releasing and shedding, ready to move forward to the new moon. So at the time of this new moon, we might be feeling quite creative. We might have lots of exciting ideas. But it's also possible that we could feel ourselves to be blocked, frustrated by really unexpected events. And we might end up feeling a little bit like our wheels are spinning in the mud. So let's have a look at why that might be. We have a lot of energy now that wants to forge ahead. Jupiter is direct now, so that is a big drive to go forward. And in addition, Venus has entered the fiery and dynamic sign of Aries, which is all about new beginnings in values, perhaps in financial markets and those types of things. So a real push to go ahead. And yet there's this feeling of being blocked, of being stopped. So where is this coming from? Well, I think in part it's coming from the ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, which is still in Taurus. Now, Uranus is restricted to some degree in Taurus. It is held back. And in my last video, I described this as being a little like a pause button on a video. I'm going to carry on with that video analogy because it works here, I think. Now, Uranus, which is about radical change, fundamental change, higher mind, universal mind, cosmic mind, if you like, the future, is squaring, so it's forming a hard relationship with our sun and moon, with the full moon in Leo. So there's tension there. And Uranus in Taurus is still held back at the moment. All Earth is slower moving. It's slower in its processes. But Taurus is fixed Earth, and Taurus really resists change to the max, really. And so you can see that in this fixed Earth, Uranus isn't very happy. So we have Uranus there, and Uranus is squaring the full moon in Leo. And guess what? Leo is fixed fire. And the full moon in Leo is opposite the sun in Aquarius. And I think you've guessed it. Yes, Aquarius is fixed air. So we have this T-square in fixed signs, and where there is real resistance to yield, to blend, to flow. And so there's an awful lot of tension created here. What is Uranus in Taurus acting with this full moon in Leo and sun in Aquarius? What are the themes there? Well, they're various. One is the split that I mentioned before between the head in Aquarius and the heart in Leo, and the need to balance those two energies out. That thinking without feeling can be cold, and feeling without thinking can be chaotic. We need to find ways to be ruled by the heart and the head in equal measure. So there's the possibility that personally we may feel some sort of pull between what our heart's saying and what our head's saying, and feeling ourselves a split there. That's certainly possible. So that is one of the themes. We're also, with the moon in Leo, looking at a potential need for drama and for attention, a need to appear big, a need to be noticed. Now, this can be manifesting itself in our world leaders, the different leaders in our country. There may be this push for dramatic gestures. Because they're squaring Uranus, they may be erratic, shocking, coming out of nowhere. And yet there's this sense that we're not necessarily moving forward with any of this. You know, we're still stuck in a groove. It's as if a wheel is spinning in Taurus, this Uranus in Taurus. It's spinning there. I think it's like, maybe we're not on the pause button now, but think, this incredibly fast energy of Uranus is in slow motion for us. Now, why? It's in slow-mo in Taurus, held back, so we can go in with focus, with laser focus, and slow down and actually see what's emerging. I think this is so important. Now, in addition to that, we have the split here between the third house, where the moon in Leo is, in the third house of the chart of the full moon, and the ninth house, where the sun is. The sun is also there with Mercury. So let's just look a little bit at the signatures of the third and ninth house. So the third house, where we have the Leo moon with the potential for drama, is about daily communications. It's about short communications. It's about information. It's about facts. Lots and lots of different facts and information all jumbling together. The ninth house, where we have the sun and Mercury, is about higher horizons. It's about further visions. It's about longer time philosophies, goals and ambitions. And we have futuristic Aquarius there, the sun in Aquarius, speaking to Mercury in Aquarius. So this huge potential for futuristic plans, for new ways, new philosophies to emerge, new ways of thinking, new ways of structuring society, perhaps, happening there. And I see another pull here as well, in that the moon in Leo energy is quite an egotistical energy. It's that energy of the powerful individual who, wants the big stage, wants leadership, and also in ourselves, our own potential to inflate the ego and the need to be important, the need of, it's all about me and I must, impress myself out there. Now, this can be about different emerging styles of leadership. Whereas the moon in Leo is saying, me, notice me, my dramas, my power, what I am. The sun in Aquarius calls for a different kind of selfhood. It calls not so much for ego as for a more integrated individuation. Aquarius is about us being individuals, and the fact that we must be individuals because that's where we offer what we have is as individuals, but being part of a collective of individuals. That's what Aquarius sees, and that's showing us, if you like here, a new way forward a new way of leadership in the future, but also a new emerging in ourselves of moving from the little ego structure to a more integrated self that is actually more truly in line with our higher selves, with our full potentials, with who we really can be, and maybe even don't know we can be yet, because this is to play for in the future. We've got four planetoids at 28 degrees, which again speaks to me of endings. You know, the 28th degree, 29th, 30th degree, and then we're off to new beginnings. So we have the North Node at 28 degrees. We have Neptune at 28 degrees. We have Pallas Athena in Capricorn at 28 degrees. And Juno in Scorpio at 28 degrees. Now, interestingly, Pallas Athena, which is about justice, which is that idea of law and order and justice, the right order of things, is trining Uranus in Taurus. So she is playing in here. And Black Moon Lilith, which is in Libra, is trining Ceres, who is in Aquarius. And in Libra, as I said last time, Black Moon Lilith has some of the qualities of Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess of justice. So this theme of justice is very important here. She in the Hall of the Dead is the weighing of the heart in the scales. She's trining Ceres in Aquarius. So very much get the balance right. This must be just. It must be in balance. It must serve justice. Not bloated ego. It must serve a higher order of justice. And the goddesses are definitely stepping in here and guiding this too. We know that the North Node has been very hot spot of late, very activated. We've had Venus crossing over there. We've got Neptune conjunct it and Saturn. So we know that it's a very crucial part. And we know that in Pisces, we're being called to a higher compassion. In fact, the 29th degree of Pisces is known as a point of suffering, where we're required to find maximum compassion. And that is something that clearly the world is needing at this moment in time, is this call for a more loving and compassionate approach. And of course, the sun itself and Mercury will be moving through Pisces, the sun on the 18th of February. So yet again, they'll be passing over that very crucial point of the North Node, our direction of fate and travel and where we should be heading. With this tense square from Uranus, I think, unfortunately, we still have to expect the unexpected. We're by no means clear of Earth events, certain circumstances coming up out of the blue, things sort of knocking us sideways a little bit. This is part of the signature here, and we're not out of the woods where that's concerned, I'm afraid. We're just not. So the times can feel turbulent. But in short, we have a moment here where, mercifully, I think, things can't race ahead too soon. Things may seem like they're there or they're happening, or if they're going to happen, and they're not. There's going to be quite a lot of toing and froing over this North Node in the next couple of months. Nothing, you may think something's going to happen, and then you will find it doesn't. Surprising. if you're feeling a little frustrated at the moment. But moons don't last forever, you know, they're passing phases, and things will be a whole lot better by the time we get to the Pisces new moon at the end of the month. And certainly things will be steaming ahead when we get to July and Uranus enters Gemini. Things will just fly then. And also in July, we will have the full Aquarius moon. And so we'll be able to see what we're harvesting from the new moon in Aquarius, which we had just a couple of weeks ago. So progress is out there, and it will happen, and things will change. I mean, if we think about it, so much is going on at this point in time. We're experiencing upgrades in consciousness, and this we're birthing in a whole new age and epoch. So much here is transforming, is being birthed. But you know, birth of new epochs and eras, as well as of human babies, is not an affair to be rushed. It's an organic process. And so I think we have to tune in to the messages and the lessons and to what we're being shown at this point of the full moon. Before I go, I'd just like to mention that from Monday the 17th of February, for a week, I will be posting daily forecasts for the day. I'm just trialing this because obviously when we get the moon, the full new moon forecasts and the Venus information, it's quite a big chunk of information at one time. I'm hoping that the daily forecasts will be a little more earthed in a way, and a little more able to help us. How do we negotiate this day, right now, right here? What are the energies? How are they going to impact me? And what's my best way forward? So if you're interested, do please tune into those. They're going to be very short and sweet, probably under 10 minutes each for sure. And they should hopefully give you a little more down-to-earth guidance. That's my intention anyway. So I'm trialing it for a week and we'll see how we go. So I wish you a peaceful full moon, and I look forward to seeing you, having your company for the daily forecasts. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.